Before cities, before writing, humans may already have been turning grain into a drink. Shall we peek behind the story? About 13,000 years ago, at Raqefet Cave in what is now Israel, stone mortars preserved microscopic cereal traces. Researchers have interpreted the residues and wear patterns as evidence of malting and fermentation by Natufian foragers. A fermented cereal drink long before the first cities. Once farming appeared, the human drinks cabinet began to change. By the 7th millennium BC, chemical residues in pottery show that milk was already being used in the Near East and Southeastern Europe. The evidence does not tell us that every trace was fresh milk being drunk. Some was processed. But dairying had entered human food culture. Then things became much more interesting. Fancy a deeper look? At Jiahu, in Neolithic central China, jars dating to around 7000 to 6600 BC contained the chemical signature of a fermented mixture of rice, honey, and hawthorn fruit, possibly with grape. A drink that fits none of our neat modern labels. A little later, in the South Caucasus, communities of the Neolithic Shulaveri-Shomutepe culture left pottery dating to around 6000 to 5800 BC that preserved biomolecular evidence of grape wine. From there, fermented drinks became woven into civilization. By the time cities rose in Mesopotamia, beer was every day. Brewers crushed malted grain, mixed it with water, then fermented it. Egyptians brewed from Emmer wheat and barley. Malted grain supplied enzymes, heated cereal supplied starch. Together they produced fermentable sugars, then the mixture began to brew. Wine was simpler. Grapes were crushed and the juice fermented. Greeks diluted it before drinking, mixing wine and water in a large crater before serving. The Romans inherited and then developed a vast wine culture of their own. But they also drank mulsum, wine sweetened with honey, and posca, water mixed with wine vinegar, especially associated with soldiers and poorer people. Honey produced mead when fermented with water. And around 740 BC at Gordian, one banquet drink combined grape wine, barley beer, and honey mead. In Han China, tea made from young buds of Camellia sinensis was already highly prized and drunk by the 2nd century BC. And in what is now Honduras, cacao became a drink. Its earliest form was probably made by fermenting the sweet pulp around the seeds. Later Mesoamerican cacao drinks used ground cacao kernels beaten with water, maize, and other ingredients. Milk, wine, mead, tea, cacao, because drinking was never only about thirst. Long before the Middle Ages, drinking became nourishment, ceremony, status, pleasure, and culture. And beer? Beer is being served on our next chapter.